welcome back to Templeboy Turnings. I am Steve and you are all very welcome. It's been way too long since I stood in front of this camera, so I'm a little bit awkward. I must apologise. A number of reasons, I'm not going to bore you with them all. It's just boring, but there are reasons I haven't been in front of the camera, and I'm back. Thank goodness, because I missed it. I've just spent 3 or 4 hours cleaning up my workshop, because when I walked into it, it's been at least probably 2 months since I actually stood properly in my workshop. I think I did a live feed a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't really take any notice of what a crap state the place was in, so it's back anyway to normal and it's ready to go. This project is going to be what I call a small crotch box. For obvious reasons, this is called a crotch. It's a piece of sycamore. It's 2 branches off of the main branch, and I'm going to make a box. So it's just a matter of putting it in between centres and turning the centre out and putting some kind of shape onto it to see what we can do. And then I will turn a lid and a finial and just make it kind of an arty little trinket box of some kind. But it's just a way of using up limbs that you have lying around of trees, which us wood turners have a lot of. They're odd shaped. Some wood turners would throw them in the fire because there's not much you can do with them, but I'm going to try and make something pretty out of it. We'll give it a try anyway. It is quite dangerous turning because you're spinning at high speeds and you've got these 3 limbs spinning around, so you have to keep your hands the right side of the wood. But you'll see that as we go along, and I'll talk you through it. So yeah, let's make a small crotch box. Okay, so we're going to work on the bottom first, because I want to put some kind of tenon in the bottom that I can turn it around and put it onto the chuck and have this held firmly. So my centre, I want kind of where that knot is. There's two knots, but I just want to kind of come there in the centre. I think that'll look roughly about right. There's no real rules when it comes to doing this. And I'll put my centrepiece into my. I think that's all right. About there. It's looking kind of square to the lathe. Tighten that down. And we'll just give it a spin just to see how we can stand to the side and just see how it spins. I think that's spinning okay. It's quite well balanced. Sharp edges, so we want to keep this side of it. We are going to round this off slightly. We're not going to keep it just like the limbs at the bottom. We're going to round it off slightly and put a bit of shape to it. Get it up to a speed that it's not killing the lathe. And we're just going to slowly take this edge away. Okay, so you can see the shape just starting. It will go kind of banana shaped. And like I say, I don't mind taking from these edges, but I don't want to take too much from the centre because I want to get as much depth as I can in the box. But that's turning away quite nicely. I'm going to do a slight tenon on this to start with, just a very slight one, just so that I can grip it with the jaws of the chuck. Turn it round, hollow out the centre so that I can expand my jaws again and turn this into a mortise, and then we can turn it round again, expand the chuck, and we can finish off the top. Shape on the bottom there. I maybe want to put just a bit more definition on these wings. We can turn it around then. Okay, so we're in the chock, and we're just going to hollow out the centre of this so that we can turn it around and finish the bottom. Okay, it's hollowed out a good bit, but we can't put our chuck into that because obviously we've got a raised piece here and this is lower and it's all very uneven. So now we've got to take the top away slightly to level up so the chuck can sit flush with the top. So we'll take a bit off and then we'll put a bit of a dovetail inside just so that the jaws can expand inside. Okay, so that's just taking away that chunk that's going to get in the way of the chuck. Obviously I've just got to square it up a bit with the square scraper, but yeah, I'm happy with that. Don't want to take too much off because again we'll lose depth. Okay, that should be enough to hold it now. We can reverse that round again and we can completely finish off the bottom. And as you can see the cutout to allow the jaws of the chuck. If you don't do that, you're just not going to get it to seat straight. Okay, that's our mortise in the bottom. So I'm not going to do much more to it. I kind of like how it is. I'm not sure if we're going to get to keep this bark. In fact, no we're not. It's going to break away. But that's okay. It still looks cool. We can just clean it up. I'll leave this natural with the grain and the way that the bark has left the effect there. We'll just clean it up with a bit of steel wool. I'm going to sand that up now. Now it's hard to sand it because of its shape. You're not going to put your hands there. I'll do a slight bit of sanding on the lathe, but the rest of it is going to be done by hand or with the palm sander. I won't bore you with that. I shall just do it and then I shall come back to you when it's been sanded. Okay, so I have that sanded to 400 all over. I'm just going to rub some oil in. It'll kind of give it the natural look, hopefully. So I'm going to let that dry and then just rub it down, and I'll give it a few more coats and then we'll be ready to turn it round. Okay, so I have the box turned round, so now we're going to hollow out the inside of this as much as we can and try and get as much room inside as we can. Okie dokie, I think we're good there. That's ready for cleaning up there. So now we're going to just, obviously that's not very nice there, so we're going to just tidy up this top part here now. It's going to cut into this slightly, but it's just a matter of tidying up and giving it some gentle shaping. Yeah, I like that. I like the look of that. I think I'm going to say that's enough. It's ready for sanding now. I'm just going to get the scraper just on that top edge there, just to try and take off the bit of end grain there, and we should be good. Okay, I got it. We've just got a tiny bit, but I'll get that with the sandpaper now. I don't want to take any more off because I like the shape. And we'll come back for the final finishing with the oil. Okay, So it's all sanded up to 400. Now I did have a slight accident when I was sanding the inside. I was using the power drill sander to get into the inside and I blew through the bottom. So I put in a plug and I changed it from a mortise to a tenon, and then I've added some rings just to hide the joint. I think it's quite a good patch up. The inside is a little bit more noticeable. You can just see where I put the plug inside there. As I said before, I did put some coats on the outside. I'm just using some teak oil, which is a very thin oil, but it penetrates into the wood quite well. I don't want to lose the natural kind of look to the wood. It's got beautiful grain through it, so I'm going to stick to the teak oil. I'm just going to keep adding this, and I'll come back to you when it's had all of its coats and we're ready to turn the lid. I'm going to try and turn a lid and a finial all in one, so it's all the same wood, and just see how we go. So that'll be the total height, maybe just 1/4 inch back from there, and I've got to put just the tenon on this that will fit inside the lid on this end. So we're going to round it off to start with and see can we make the whole thing out of this branch. Okay, let's see what I can do with this. I'm just going to knock these lumps off to start with. I'll just take it out and see, does it fit on our box. Tiny fraction to go, which is good, but I think that's going to fit in there nice, so we'll just take that last little bit off of there. Okay, so that's as much as I'm taking off that side. I'm going to just put a small, clean off the top of this and put a small tenon so I can turn it around and clean up the bottom of what will be the lid. Okay, so we've got a tenon on both ends. I can swap that round now and just clean off the bottom of the lid, and that'll fit in the jaws then, and we can shape our lid and do the whole finial all in one go then. Okay, so I have that turned round and tightened up into the chuck. This is going to be our lid, and then coming down to our finial. We need to clean off this nub at the bottom and finish off the bottom here, and then we can start shaping here for the lid. And once we start getting down a bit, we can swap it round so there's no pressure on the thinner part of the where the finial is going to go. Okay, that's as much as I'm taking that down. I'm going to flip it round now. Okay, so I have all that sanded to 400. I don't need to oil it yet. I can oil it when it's all finished. So now it's just a matter of turning our lid around and popping it into the chuck. I don't want to over tighten this because I don't want to damage where it goes into the box. And then I'm going to bring my tailstock up again. Just support it with a bit of pressure. Our finial will finish back here, so I'll be able to do most of the turning of the finial while it's in place between centres, and then the final bit we can take away the life centre or the tailstock. Okay, I'll just give it a sand now and some oil, and we'll pop it on, and that should be our box finished. I'll show you the finished thing once we've sanded and oiled it. And there you go, folks, one Sycomore Crotch box. Came out very well, apart from the little mess up, but the plug that I put in has turned out very well, and the lid just drops in there nicely. Nice tight fit with the inclusion there at the side. I just love the shape of these boxes. You can really have fun with them and experiment with them, and they make a great little jewellery box or trinket box or anything at all. So there you go, and we hollowed that out just to make it a bit lighter. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know it's been a long time coming. It's great to be back, and I will be back with you very shortly for another video. If you have any particular projects that you'd like to see me make, let me know in the comments, and I'll give it a go, even if it's wacky and wonderful. Alright guys, thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.